Welcome to Koki's World of Wine, guys. I'm Koki, and this is my world. Today we're gonna do a deep dive into Greek wine. They grow their vines in this cute little bird's nest design. There's been a lot of turmoil in Greece. There's political problems, financial problems, a lot of wildfires. Producers are saying, who knows what's gonna be going on in Greece any single day, so let's develop an international export market where everyone can get Greek wine and everyone loves it, so that we don't need to worry about what's going on in Greece. We don't see a lot of varieties that we're used to, so you're not seeing Pinot Noir and Chardonnay and Merlot and Shiraz coming out of Greece, and that's because they have their own indigenous varieties and they've really nurtured those. So we see Assyrtiko from Santorini, we see Eurydico, we see Zino Mavro, and these are varieties that the world has come to love. And not only that, the world is really interested in finding more. So a lot of people are like, oh, what is the next indigenous Greek variety that is going to be delicious and make everyone so excited? So there's a huge focus on indigenous varieties, which is uncommon in a lot of other wine regions. We're gonna talk about three main regions. We have Naousa up here. We have Nemea on the Peloponnesian Peninsula. Where is it? Santorini, you're so small. There you are. And look, he's like a little C shape. Naousa's up here, and they're growing Zino Mavro. That is a red grape. Jancis says that with age, the best made Naousa wines can acquire a bouquet as haunting as all but the finest Barolo. The finest one, Barolo, will cost you like $100 or more. It's kind of similar, people say, to Zino Mavro. It's light in color, but it doesn't disappoint. There's a lot of different aromas that you smell in your wine. It's probably higher quality, whereas cheaper wines will smell like only one or two things. And next up we have Nemea, where my thumb is pointing, and they grow the Eurydico grape, which has more G's than it sounds like. And here's the thing, there's a lot of different altitudes that you can grow in Nemea. And so if you grow on the bottom, it's kind of like too hot. If you grow on the top, it's too cold. It's just like Goldilocks. In the middle of the slope, it's just right. And so on the bottom, we have some inexpensive wines being made and some good quality sweet wines. But on the top, it just gets too cold. And sometimes you can only produce rosé wine, although it's getting warmer in the world, as we know. And so we can start to make some red wines from up there. But in the middle slope, we get these great red wines that are world class. And they are usually red fruited, so meaning it smells like red fruit, like red cherries. Next we have Santorini, which is located in the Aegean Sea right there, and it's in a C shape because it used to be a volcano. Well, it still is, I guess. Once a volcano, always a volcano. But they grow their grapes in this cute little basket design, and that is because the winds are so strong they'll destroy the vines, and the winds are dry. So if you have vines exposed to dry winds, the dry winds will take moisture from the vine. If you can get the vines to be protected from this dry wind, they'll retain moisture better. Literally, if you go to a vineyard, you'll just see a bunch of nests. So they wrap the vines around the last year's growth, and then every 20 years or so, they're like, this is getting too big. Let's chop it off and start a new nest. With Santorini wines, they're always going to be white. You can have dry and sweet wines. The Assyrtiko grape is the main thing there. And we get these minerally white wines that smell like lemon, but also like rocks. So when we say mineral, we mean rocks, like wet rocks. When you have a glass of water and you add some lemon to it and it makes it more refreshing, that's because you've increased the acidity. In wine, warmer climates generally reduce the acid level in the wine because it's hard for grapes to retain acid in warm climates. But Assyrtiko is different. Assyrtiko can retain its acid. So even though Santorini is a warm climate, we have wines that are refreshing and acidic. And that is a good thing because it's just delicious and it pairs better with food. We have a smoky character as well as the wet stone and the lemon that I talked about. For the second major wine of Santorini, we're gonna use a mango as an analogy. So imagine you have a mango and you harvest the whole tree except for one, and you leave this one, you harvest it late. It's gonna be sweeter, it's gonna be shriveled up a little bit, and then you're gonna harvest it, and let's say you bring it home and you put it on your counter for maybe 2 weeks, and it's gonna get even more shriveled up and even sweeter. So that's what they do to make Vinsanto in Santorini, and that is a sweet wine. So if you imagine the size of the grape, you harvest it late, it's a little bit smaller, and then you dry it, it's even smaller because a lot of water has been evaporated from the grape. And that's why Vinsanto is gonna be a little bit more expensive because you get less per grape. And also it just requires some care to make, but it's this beautiful, delicious dessert wine from Santorini. Imagine honey, raisins, coffee, chocolate, all in one deliciously sweet glass of wine. And that has been my overview on Greek wine, guys. I will catch you next time.